two-time Minister of the Federal Republic and pioneer Corps Marshal Bureau Safety. You're welcome, sir.
On behalf of the National Working Committee that has mandated me to address you, considering the unabated state-sponsored attacks and series of physical harassments on the candidate of SDP, Alhaji Murtala Yakubu Ajaka, the National Working Committee once again hereby respectfully call on the President of the Federal Republic, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to address the brewing social tension and the evolving state of anarchy in Kogi State. This ugly situation has arisen from the prevailing reign of political terror against opposition parties, particularly the SDP. We are therefore appealing and repeating our call to the President for a special panel of inquiry to investigate the ongoing political terrorism and extrajudicial killings in Kogi State. This is a request for a definitive call to order for the Kogi State Governor to stop the unwarranted political extremism. We have conducted our own independent findings, which show that there are no genuine reasons whatsoever for the outgoing governor to harass our governorship candidate, except that the outgoing governor, Yahaya Bello's administration, has fallen far below the expected standards of good governance and has now become very jittery. All economic and human development indices have shown that Kogi State have fallen below expectation in the last 8 years under Governor Bello. We shall continue to stand firmly behind Alhaji Ajaka and defend his rights to secure and safe campaigns. We have formally petitioned the Office of the President, we have petitioned the Office of the Inspector General of Police, and also petitioned all the service chiefs, including the DSS. We are aware that somehow in Kogi State, some of the operatives of government have been compromised. But we are confident that the appropriate actions will be taken by the various service chiefs and the President and the Inspector General. We are calling on all bastions of democracy and civil liberties, including international communities in Nigeria, to pay attention to the state-sponsored violence, extrajudicial killings, and unwarranted repressive measures in Kogi State, and to take necessary actions to prevent a social disorder and to avoid loss of lives. To enjoin you, as seated here, the entire Nigerian press, the media, to push into the forefront of national discourse by prioritizing major spotlights on the unlawful activities led by state actors, illegal deployments of state apparatus, and quasi-security bodies in Kogi State, under the leadership of Governor Yahaya Bello, because these are only to intimidate opposition parties. These, unfortunately, have become a mega trend and a negative narrative on our democratic culture as a nation. Gentlemen of the press, I thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Commissioner of Police in Kogi State to arrest our candidate, Alhaji Murtala Ajaka. Unfortunately, Ajaka wasn't at that location. That location was not his house. Okay? And we don't know what happened, but they were hanging around there for a long time. And our information was that they were all over town looking for Ajaka. Now, there are basic things that any lawyer here will tell you. If you have a warrant that has a particular address at the place you should go,
okay,
you cannot go and execute that warrant in another address. It's not something.
Yes.
But they were stalking him all over town. yesterday. Now we have no idea what it was all about. But we did hear from one of them that he was being wanted for terrorism and gun running because of what happened on June 3rd. Let me remind you about what happened on June 3rd. On June 3rd, Ajaka was going home to Kogi with a motorcade at about 12:30, 12:40 in the afternoon of that day. The motorcade was attacked. The person who led the attack was Governor Bello himself. There was no proxy. He drove a Mercedes-Benz and crossed the road to prevent Ajaka from passing. And government came out of his car and started raining bullets on Ajaka's car. The last press conference we did here, the pictures of that car was, the pictures of bullets and all that, you saw them here. We managed to escape from the place. The Navy, the Navy, the DSS, every other person, everybody was aware that our candidate was going on. Then they tried to spin that Ajaka attacked them. And of course we were able to repudiate their falsehood. Because it wasn't possible. Ajaka was going, Bello was coming from behind and overtook to cross the vehicle. And I had explained a lot of times what happened. Most people don't know who we're talking about. You see, the general impression is that when you hear that somebody is a governor, at least there's a minimum level of comportment, a minimum level of honor that you expect. But I'm sorry to say this, and I'm actually embarrassed to say this, but in Kogi State, what we have in place of the governor is an outlaw. An outlaw. Any thug on the streets can favorably rub shoulders with the governor. The governor left Abuja because he heard Ajaka was on his way to Lokoja. When Ajaka took off, his convoy took off from here, there were social media people on the convoy who started posting the convoy. That was when he got to know. And the governor's staff, his convoy staff and all that, they were not present. And he couldn't wait for them. He took a Mercedes-Benz, moved with his chief detail and a few others, and called some people to intercept Ajaka on the road. We have our information. When these people were coming yesterday, we already knew. No matter, there's nothing that happens in that place that we don't get to know. Because most people there are living under compliance. They are living under fear. So they give us information. So this information I'm giving you is information we got from inside. And Bello now decided to take off from Abuja and started pursuing Ajaka. He knew the itinerary. The itinerary was that Ajaka was going to visit the traditional ruler of Koto, Oyimegi of Koto. So when Ajaka spent time there, as the time he moved, Bello had closed him. Close to Lokoja, we met one of the commissioners, and Ajaka stopped to greet him because Ajaka was friendly with a lot of them. And shortly after that, Bello crossed, overtook, and blocked the road, and they now opened fire. Then the next thing, the spokesperson issued a statement that Ajaka came to attack Bello. A lot of people on the convoy ran helter-skelter, some people received bullet wounds, and they escaped. They burnt some cars because they had mobilized some thugs ahead. From here to Lokoja takes almost 2 hours. They had mobilized some thugs to join the attack. So a lot of people ran, scattered into the bush and all that. And the vehicles, they burnt some vehicles. The one that had SDP branding that they saw, they didn't burn that one. What we later saw on TV was that there were guns in that pickup. Saw a gun in that pickup. That is what the commissioner of police, your Kogi State, one Hakim Additional Yusuf, is calling Alhaji Murtala Ajaka. The guns planted by Bello is what he's calling Ajaka to come and answer, and he's accusing him of terrorism. And let me tell you, you know why he's accusing him of terrorism? They will take him before a local magistrate court or high court. And terrorism is not ordinarily believable. Then the judge will now say, okay, go and remand this man in prison. And of course, when we say this, we're not saying because we don't have confidence in the judiciary. That's not what we're saying. Bello is a total conqueror. If you remember, cast your mind back, the chief judge of Kogi State, the former chief judge of Kogi State, Justice Ajana, Nasir Ajana, Bello hounded Ajana, cut the light to his house, cut water, cut telephone, cut everything. Ajana was being stalked and hounded. When he reported Ajana to the National Judicial Council here, accused him of all sorts of crimes, they investigated Ajana and gave him a clean bill of health. And he couldn't tolerate that. So he started harassing the man. Gunmen would come and shoot guns in front of the house of the chief judge and all that. Until one day they said Ajana took sick, that he had COVID. He never had breath problem or anything, and he went to the isolation center in Gwagwalada. After that, we heard that the man had died. Bello said there was no COVID in Kogi. If you remember, that was very popular, wasn't it? So how did Ajana, who was staying in Kogi, how did he pick up COVID? So Ajana was the only person who officially picked COVID in Kogi and died. And that was the man Bello was hounding. And Bello came to his burial at, what do you call this place? Gudu Cemetery here. Okay? So when we say a judge in Kogi, judges in Kogi have been intimidated to do Bello's bidding. We're not saying it's because our judges are corrupt, they are not. I personally have knowledge of Kogi State Judiciary, and there are lots of them are honorable men. But how many of them can stand a governor with an outlaw? That is the question. So that is why I gave you the story of the chief judge. So if Bello takes, or the Kogi State Police takes Ajaka before a judge in Kogi, you can be sure that they will give order that he should be detained indefinitely, possibly until the election is over. And that is the plot. That is the plot. And if you must know, anybody who has disagreement with Bello, what you need to do to qualify as a terrorist in Kogi is if you disagree with Bello. In case you forget, in April this year, about 8 House of Assembly members were suspended from the House of Assembly and accused of terrorism. I mean, it's a matter, you can just use Google now. 8 Kogi House members suspended for terrorism. What happened? Bello believed that, anyway, that is their party matter. But Bello believed that they went to work against his instruction. Most of them came from Kogi East. If you remember the election they did, the APC lost Kogi Central, where Bello comes from. Natasha Akpoti gave him a bloody nose in that place. Of the 5 local governments in Kogi Central, PDP won 4. And Natasha led them to victory. The only victory Bello managed, which of course everybody knew was rigged, was a 300 vote advantage over the APC candidate, PDP candidate in the central, so that they can merge, so that he was able to get the Senate from the place. But the presidential election there was lost. But in Kogi East, where our candidate now used to be in charge, was the one he was the one who commanded the APC campaign there. Every local government was won by the APC. I was the PDP man. Till today, a lot of people, a lot of candidates considered PDP, they hold him responsible. But even those candidates that he delivered in PDP, in APC, none of them can openly say they are supporting Ajaka. Not one of them, not the senator, not the House of Reps member. That's why I'm telling you that the man is a total conqueror. Nobody has the courage to say I'm supporting Ajaka there. If you do that, their cases are in the tribunal. They believe that Bello will move into the tribunal to make them lose their seats. So none of them will come out openly. But the House of Assembly members from Kogi East, who hearkened to Ajaka and worked for the success of Tinubu in Kogi East, the moment they came back, he declared them terrorists. So if you check the results of the presidential election in Kogi East, which was commanded by Ajaka then, was totally, all the 9 local governments was won for President Tinubu. And in Central, where Bello was in control, only 1 local government was won in the Senate. But the 5 of them, for Tinubu was lost. These are facts. So those House of Assembly members were declared terrorists. They were declared terrorists and suspended from the House. And Bello was going to go after them so that they will arraign them in court and clamp them into detention when the people started screaming out, "We're not terrorists, what did we do? How did we do terrorism?" And all that and all that. So the moment you are against Bello in Kogi, you are a terrorist. I will give you an example. This young man you see there, his name is Outlaw. the police commissioner, Yusuf, will tell you that the man is a bandit, he's a terrorist. I do not dispute that. As a matter of fact, it is difficult to defend this particular fellow you are seeing here. Very difficult to defend him. Okay? But I will tell you something. This guy was in jail. He was a prisoner in Kogi and had about 16 years to go in prison. He was sentenced to over 20 years. I think for murder or for whatever, I can't remember what it was. Bello gave him pardon and freed him from prison in the run-up to the 2019 election. This man was freed from prison and unleashed on the people of Kogi East. So he did Bello's bidding, scattered ballot boxes, shot at people. I even remember at the point, a reverend father, which I posted on my Facebook page, they caught a reverend father at a place called Ofakaga and used his head to hit what do you call it, pavement. And why did they do that? The father was not doing politics, but he was standing. And because the father was standing, it was difficult for anybody to, most of the parishioners to collect money. There was a polling unit around the church. It was difficult for any of the parishioners to collect money and vote for Bello. So this guy sees the reverend father, not him directly, his voice, sees the reverend father and dealt with the reverend father. So there's nothing to be said in defense of this guy. But what I tell you is that the guy renounced violence. You know, as Christians, as Muslims, as any religion you believe in, whatever, no matter how bad your sin are, and you have to look, I'm no longer sinning. God forgive me. God will forgive you first. And even in society, there's a place for people to make amends for their transgressions. So this guy renounced violence and said he wasn't doing violence anymore, and he wasn't going to support Bello anymore. You understand? There are several videos which I can produce. I don't have them here. There are several videos he made to say, look, I'm no longer doing violence. I'm supporting Murtala Ajaka. He has given us a new direction. Now we can do politics without violence. We don't need to kill, we don't need to maim, we don't need to do anything. So I'm supporting Ajaka. That was what he said. That was what the man said. The videos are there. Then one night, shortly after he made his first declaration, some people appeared in the village where it's a place called Ejule. And they set his hotel ablaze, burnt down his hotel. You wonder what a village man, the hotel was worth over 200 million, 300 million. You wonder what the village man was doing to, where did he raise that money from? The money was raised from Bello. Our state resources was channeled to this criminal, this former criminal, who now built hotel and was living large. They burnt down the hotel. And he did a video and said, well, the money came from there, so if they burnt it, no problem. But that is not going to change me. I'm still committed to the renunciation of violence. Okay? It was 2 days after they burnt down this guy's hotel that they attacked Mori. They attacked our candidates on June 3rd. Then shortly after that, they came and murdered the guy. Shot him and displayed his body as if it's a trophy. This killed him. Displayed his body as if it's a trophy. Then the police commissioner listed so many crimes, including the burning to death of the PDP woman leader in Kogi as one of the crimes committed by this Okwo. Madam Salome Abu. They said he was the one who punched the woman alive. But the truth, okay, yes, maybe they are telling us the truth now. Yeah. But the records we have is that another person had been arrested. 6 people were arrested, paraded. Some of them, about 4 of them had been sentenced to prison as the culprits of the crime. But when this man died, they said it was the man who did it. How come they never arrested him? How come they never said he was the one who did it? How come they never declared him wanted? They gave so many terrible crimes and said he was the one who committed those crimes. And yet not once. In fact, sorry, do you have any more pictures? This is the zonal chairman of APC in Kogi East. His name is Muhammad Nasir or so. This is the zonal chairman of APC in Kogi East. He's the one standing with this man called bandits and terrorists who committed so much heinous crime. This is the vice chairman of local government. This man is sitting in the seat of VIPs at an event, an APC event. There is a picture with the chief of staff. I think I gave them, and maybe the picture wasn't presented here. The chief of staff to Bello. Violence. That is why Bello hires thugs, he frees thugs from prisons. Okay? Now the only threat he faces now is Ajaka. Ajaka coming out, Ajaka, I mean the people are accepting him. Thugs, the thugs he's using are renouncing thuggery, they are renouncing violence to support Ajaka. So what he has done now is, number one, target Ajaka, take him out of the way. That way he will be able to win. The only way he can stop Ajaka is possibly to kill him, or to get him locked up, or maybe arrange a kangaroo trial where he will be sentenced and called a criminal. Okay, that is the only way you will be able to stop him. So I'm sorry, I may have taken a lot of your time, but there's so much to say about this fellow. So what we are urging the federal government to do is that Kogi State is part of Nigeria. It is actually a coup d'etat if anybody gets into power by the force of arms. If thugs kill people for you to be able to win election, or intimidate people, or use any other means, or use police, even police with, if you use police or DSS or Navy to arrest Ajaka so that you're able to gain advantage and go to power, it's a coup d'etat. If they don't know that, they should know that now. That is the way we define coup d'etat. If everybody who has access to a gun can intimidate people and kill people before he gets to power, would that be democracy? That would not be democracy. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
He does it proactively. I had some of the junk information he placed before people a few days ago, I think yesterday, on goings on in Kogi State, particularly on the issue of the attack on the State Directorate of Campaign Office, State Directorate Campaign Office of Murtala Ajaka. We have the photographic impression of the APC boss used by the thugs to convey themselves to that place in the process of carrying out that dastardly act. And they came in there, we have videos to show, where they pulled down our campaign materials and set them ablaze. But he was trying to twist the facts as they were. I want to tell you that in addition to this I have just said, is the fact that we have it on good authority that in the next couple of days they have procured vehicles that at the moment they are branding with the logo and the pictures of Muri and myself, which their thugs will be using to parade the streets of Kogi State, and carrying out very embarrassing and untoward actions that we have condemned in its entirety. We want to call the attention of the law enforcement agencies and of course the Commissioner of Police for Kogi State should take note, the Director, DSS, the Navy, and all the other apparatus of enforcement should ensure that whoever they found with such vehicles are arrested and profiled. I can assure you that they will never be supporters of SDP. We are told that they are going to be attacking government establishments. Of course, that does not win the election for us. We are only involved in things that will win election for us. And the more reason why everybody in Kogi State knows that the Murisam ticket is the ticket to beat. And no wonder all the ferocious actions have been directed at Murtala. We remain undaunted and we are sure that we are coasting to victory. Murtala Sam ticket has provided an enabling environment for Kogi people to once again, through the democratic process, produce a government that will release a new lease of life for the people of Kogi State. Please, I want this to be emphasized and escalated, because whatsoever we say here, we have been made to become soothsayers, because we have information. We have information as to what actions they are about to take each time. And I hasten to conclude here that the SDP has not branded any vehicle officially that you see parading the streets. Even people have made requests, but my principal and I have said that we know when we are going to kickstart the hitting the grassroots, except the flash test of the microphone that we are doing, like it happened at Ida, and the whole world knows that the response of the people in Kogi State, like my principal said, is organic and infectious, because it has been escalated to display that people are behind Muritala Ajaka. No wonder they are looking for him. But he will stand tall, and at the end of the day, the SDP will be the better for it. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.